What's going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. In this show, we're talking about round 3 DFS Showdown targets for the ZOZO Championship. We also did a round 2 recap in which Craig did his full Joe Damon Gladiator impression. So if you want to check that out, make sure to check that out on our channel as well. But this show, we're just doing PGA DFS Showdown.
Yeah, if I knew that was coming, I would have gotten the full helmet, the replica helmet, and
yeah,
oh, man, it would have been good.
I could have done also the liver guy. Okay, so we're talking Saturday at the ZOZO Championship, our showdown targets. Starting with my picks, I got Collin Morikawa, first one up at 9,100 on DraftKings. Started off pretty poor for his standard, 71. Improved in round 2, 65. So for the tournament, 1 eagle, 8 birdies, 2 bogeys. But I mean, these are stats that I love to see in showdown. He's 6th in strokes gained tee to green, 70th in strokes gained putting. Yeah, I mean, we know he's not the best putter in the world. That's kind of his weakness. But if he can even just get a little bit closer to average, we know how low he can go. If this is an approach course, like JT hasn't had the best approach numbers, but he's an approach player. Same with Morikawa. I think he can continue to improve on his Friday.
It's also really hard to improve your strokes gained putting stats when you just hole out from the bunker. So it makes it much trickier.
Exactly. Next up, I got Joaquin Niemann. I almost messed that one up saying Joko. Joaquin Niemann, 7,600, round 1, 70, round 2, 66, 11 birdies, 3 bogeys so far. I mean, almost the exact same thing to Morikawa. 4th strokes gained tee to green for the first 2 days, 71st in strokes gained putting. I was looking back on our DFS model, Craig. He hasn't had a negative putting tournament in the last 5 tournaments. So this is this isn't normal for him. So he shouldn't be putting this poorly. And he's had some great recent putting stats. So I expect him again to get kind of closer to average, at least into the weekend.
Yeah, he's also just so streaky that he's one of those guys you love playing in showdowns because he's the type of guy that can rattle off birdies.
Tons of birdies.
And quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Billy Horschel, 7,500. Round again, not a great round 1, 72, round 2, 67. He's 5 under right now, 7 birdies, 2 bogeys. So just looking at round 2 where he improved by 5 strokes. He went 5 under today. He's 5 under on the tournament. 2nd strokes gained tee to green, 74th strokes gained putting. Still, with that horrendous putting round, he was bogey free on Friday. So he's I feel like he's going to go a little bit.
I just remembered that there's only 77 players, and I'm like, horrendous. 74. Oh, no, that is quite bad this week.
Yeah, I only had to count a few back from the back, and there was Billy showing his putting. Really not a good round 2, but he went 5 under. So if he just can, I mean, it's the same thing through these 3 guys. If they can clean it up a little bit on these greens, and that can change easily with.
You just get one to fall.
Yeah, a good practice on Saturday morning or different pin locations. I mean, so much can change on the greens. I also feel like Billy Horschel might go overlooked. I mean, Niemann, Morikawa are a little bit sexier, more birdie kind of machines, but Billy Horschel, not so much. He's just kind of right in that middle tier right now. I think he's a good guy to capitalize on Saturday.
Yeah, I think, Horschel, I think is someone who, if he is doing well in a tournament, he might attract a lot of ownership, but because he's -5, but
it's nothing, right?
That half the field is -5 or better, so he's not going to jump out because of where he is at in terms of his score. And it's not like Niemann, who, if Niemann was at -5, I think he would still attract a bit more attention just because everyone knows how streaky he is and people love to play him for that reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, jumping into mine. I have got, and I actually faded this guy before the tournament.
Yeah.
Purely on the, the COVID, coming back from the COVID diagnosis. We saw some questionable things from Scheffler, so I was like, I'm gonna take a sec on Finau, and I'm gonna fade him. But from what I've seen, I am now saying that go out there and play him on Saturday. We saw him 3 under 69 on Thursday, and then he is 64 today. an eagle, 12 birdies, 3 bogeys. He just, with his length, and we talk about it quite often, that the sneaky thing about Finau is he's such a better approach player than people think. They think of him as being really long off the tee, but I think his touch is an underrated aspect of his game. But I was looking at, through the full week here, he's gained in every category. He's gained off the tee, approach, around the green, and putting. His worst one is actually off the tee. So if you're happy with Finau gaining everywhere and his tee game, his driver game is the weakest, then it just, to me, there's so many reasons to play him.
Yeah.
I
really like Finau. I mean, I think we both agree that if he is playing well, he just can eat this course alive.
Very high upside.
I did find it interesting. I think it was after round 2 today that he did mention like his COVID, like he got hit pretty hard. Like he was in bed. He wasn't feeling well. I think he still doesn't have a sense of taste right now. So interesting to me that he's playing this well.
Yeah, and conversely, Scotty Scheffler said that he was pretty asymptomatic, and he had really struggled coming back. So, I mean, conversely, we could see Finau hit a bit of a wall here. But
it's just a fatigue thing, right? Like 2 days of golf,
Yeah, everyone knows that feeling when you come back from sickness and you hit a wall. But I'm still saying I'm happy to roll with him.
And at that price, I mean, that's pretty juicy.
Yeah. Next up, Matthew Fitzpatrick, 7,900. He was 69 in the first round, 65 in the second round. Eagle, 12 birdies, 2 bogeys, 1 double bogey. He's putting it well. He always puts it well. He's second in the field in greens and regulation, 31 of 36. But he's a little bit sneaky. If you weren't paying attention on Thursday, he was actually, I want to say he was 7 under through 12 or so. And then I guess through 11 maybe, because he was +4 through his last 7 holes on Thursday, including that par 3. He put one in the drink and double bogeyed. So he is putting up a lot more positive scores than it seems like at -10. So I'm just expecting, you hate to rely too much on a guy like Matt Fitzpatrick or a guy who's putting well and count on that continuing. But he's one of those players where I worry about that less, because there's a history. It's not like he's just got a hot putter through a couple days. He's a good putter, and he's going to knock in a lot of putts.
I also feel like he's one of those guys that he kind of has that trend through the tournament. So if he's playing well, he's going to continue to play well. If he's having an off tournament, he just kind of fades and fades. So the fact that he's playing well, I think you're completely right. He's just going to continue to improve upon it.
Yep. Last up, Bubba Watson. One thing I worry about here is that his ownership might get a little bit high. He's 7,800, so he's. What I'm thinking with these 3 guys, I like the balanced lineups out there for showdowns. I think there's a lot of value with so many people scoring. Like if it continues like it was today, I think you just scatter throughout all these guys that have the ability to, and then you're going to get enough of them going off. He was 9 under today. -11 on the tournament, eagle, 12 birdies, 3 bogeys. His last 5 rounds, his worst round is a 70 that he had on Thursday. They spoke about it a bit on the broadcast. I don't know if you were able to catch that, but his caddy is talking about how he's just playing awesome.
He's just in the zone. I did hear that,
When you have someone that's in the zone like that, ride the wave, I'll ride the wave till it crashes. And the other thing, like we spoke about, I think it was with Morikawa, he's dominating tee to green, and his putting is not great. So like if you're -9 and you're not, or -11 through 2 say, and you're not putting it that well, there's so much more opportunity to continue scoring.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I have to say, Craig, sometimes I can be kind of a hipster, right? When things get too popular, I don't really like it, but I like to be there before the trend. In his last 5, I think I talked about him right before his 65, and I will bring
you were on Bubba before Bubba was cool.
I mean, after those master wins, but
now that he's popular and everyone's talking about him.
Yeah, exactly. I think at 7,800 he can get a ton of ownership. I think we saw JT today at around 45% ownership. I think just because he has been so dominating tee to green. I mean, there's nothing I don't like about it besides ownership and that his price is so low. That's the only reason I have hesitation.
Yeah, and you know, that's what I would say as well, is that if you want to potentially, like, it means that you're going to have to find diversity elsewhere and play low own somewhere else. But it just all depends on how you want to structure lineups.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, quickly recapping. I got Morikawa at 9,100, Niemann at 7,600, and Billy Horschel at 7,500.
And I have selected Tony Finau at 8,500, Matt Fitzpatrick at 7,900, and Bubba Watson at 7,800.
Again, thank you everybody for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at Grandstand Golf. That's where we push out all our content. And good luck on the weekend. Good luck on Saturday.
See you next time, guys. Thanks a lot.